this Tony Robbins exercise, I was able to appreciate that growth and contribution were the most rewarding parts of my life. As long as I'm continually growing and as long as I'm continually contributing, that put me in a position of gratitude. That put me in a position where I would want to strive for more. It's very different than, say, my ego, which wanted certainty and significance. And while these things are appreciative, like I can appreciate that wanting to be certain, and I can appreciate wanting significance, but I'm not going to gain significance through just absorbing. Like I'm just usurping. If I'm just soaking and taking, I'm never giving. I'm never going to feel that sense of reward, of contribution. This was the shift where I wouldn't have been able to do that if it wasn't through the tiny micro changes. If it wasn't for taking those micro changes earlier on, I wouldn't have made the decision to go to the Tony Robbins event. And if I didn't go to the Tony Robbins event, I'm sure I would have eventually come to these ideas later on. But I couldn't have done it without making these tiny changes along the way. So is self-mastery something that I arrive at? Or is self-mastery something that is continually happening every day? I fully believe that I can never really achieve self-mastery, but I do believe that self-mastery is something that every day I'm working on, be it the tiny micro changes, or maybe it's life-altering decisions. Self-mastery is a part of it. And so when I think of self-mastery, when I think of why it's important to me, I look at where my life was years ago in the heat of my addiction, and I look at where I am now. When I start to feel down, when I start to feel sad, when I start feeling those hungry, angry, lonely, and tired, those emotions we've talked about before, as soon as I feel those hungry, angry, lonely, tired, I start to, chickadee check myself before I wreck myself. I focus on what part of me is feeling that emotion, what part of me is, if I can identify where that emotion is coming from, I can help pave a better tomorrow by identifying why I'm feeling that emotion today. That doesn't change the emotion in itself. We've talked before about we talked before about happiness by itself doesn't change anything. Being positive that I'm broke doesn't make me any less broke. I'm going to have to want to do something about it. I'm going to have to move forward in some positive direction into something much more constructive. If I'm upset about something, what part of me is feeling upset? So identifying my emotions and mapping out my experiences. Yes, those experiences are going to happen, but those experiences don't have to drive my decision-making process. I don't have to live in a knee-jerk response world. I don't need my ego to drive me into any more trouble than I already did get in. What I can start to live my life with is that sense of gratitude, that sense of inner candle flame we talked about. While it never flickers despite the craziness, I can start to practice daily patience and daily peace.